welcome to Real Custom Lures. My name is Jeff, and today I'm going to show you how I organize myself when I'm making soft plastic baits with their recipes along with the remelts. And speaking of remelts, I came up with this idea on how to slice and dice them. So I think this will work, and we're going to find out. So with that being said, thanks for joining, and let's get going. So this is how I organize myself. I did it starting day one, and when I would make up a batch of plastisol, I would jot down what I used, how many drops of a certain colorant, what flakes I used, and after I shot the mold, was used the 3.2 rip wraps, for example. Then I would keep one sample, and then if there was any remelts left over, I would put that in a bag. And then later on, I would go ahead and jot that recipe down on an Excel spreadsheet. So this is what I do. So my very first soft plastic bait I made was the 3.2 rip wrap. It happened to be the watermelon and fire red. I still use it to this day, still catches me fish. And so consequently is number one. And then my number two that I made the following day, and so forth. Number three. And these are just little clear see-through photo bags. I guess it's a 4x6. It will hold a picture photo, and you have the front side and the back side, so you can get 4 per sheet. And this is what I've been doing from day one. And that way, when I have my remelts, then I can look at the color, and then I can match it, and then in my recipe, like I say, I've got them written down on a spreadsheet. I keep up to date. And I also do, since I started doing dual injection, I have a separate book for the duals. And so far, like I say, up to 26, 30, so I got like 33 different colors. And I save them all, and it's a really good reference to look back when I'm going like, okay, what was that color again? And I can tweak it if I want to, the colorants or different flakes and so forth. But this has helped me a lot on keeping track of my different types of colors I've been using. And then the remelt bags, I do the same. So number three, got my remelts in here. And the bags that I'm using are the Ziploc freezer bags. They seem to hold up really well. I get them like the dollar store when they go and sell. And then when I'm ready to resupply my tackle box for a certain color, so if I've been running out number threes, then I'll go through I have a box of remelts, see if I got number 3 in there, or I had to make a brand new batch, and then that's where the cookbook comes in real handy for that. Then I just get the scissors out, cut these up, tiny little dice as cubes, and do my remelt and reshoot a different paddle tail. However, I was watching, I forgot what I was watching, whatever TV show I was watching, a commercial came on. I'm not sure if it was an info commercial, but regardless, it was showing this slice and dice canister to where they were actually, cutting up carrots, they were cutting up onions, they were cutting, slicing, dicing apples. And I was going like, wow, I said, I bet I can use that to cut up the remelts. I just put it in there and shove her down, and end of story. Put it in my cup and get her melted up. So I went through our kitchen, and sure enough, I found one. And I took it and brought it into the workshop, and I'm anxious to see how it really works. So just stand by for that. So in the kitchen, my wife had that's a Mueller slice and dice chopper. I mean, it works well. And I thought, well, this has got to work good for my remelts to chop these up. I call it slice and dice. Comes with all kinds of different attachments here, and we're going to get the one that actually shaped like a dice here. Let me get this in here. All right. And so these are like the paddle tails that I fish with. After a while, they start splitting. After so many uses of the hooks, especially when I'm catching the speckled sea trout. Those are some toothy critters. But I'm really happy with the Plastisol. I used the 242 bait plastic, and I'm pretty impressed how well it holds up. So let's give this a try here. I'm gonna get these cut up. So I'm just gonna lay these in here. All right, let's put this in here. Ah, geez, gotta put some pressure on this. I don't remember having to put that much pressure when you're doing like a tomato and an onion or carrots. All right. Not too bad. Got them little dice pieces in here. Got a bunch of stuff hanging around though. Oh, those are sharp. Let me, I got a screwdriver, I think. Yeah, those things are sharp. All right, let me poke these in here. And I got stuff on here. All right, we'll I don't know about this. All right, let's try. All right, so that wasn't too bad on the slicing the paddle tails. So this bag here, I'm just using the watermelon red. So these, of course, the sprues and stuff off of the paddle tails. So let's pull these off, get them on here. Get you on there. All right, let's get you cut. Yeah, you gotta put some pressure down. That's for sure. Good grief. All right, well, not too bad. And this one here got all kinds of stuff in here. So I guess it comes with some kind of a tool, a rake. Now I know what it's for. It's to scrape the stuff out. All right, get in there. Come on. All right. Now this came off of the from the injector here. Let's put that bad boy on there. All right, push, push. Oh, man, I hope I didn't break it. I'll be buying my wife a new one. All right. How am I get off of there? Seems like when you're doing the vegetables, they just go right in there all nice and clean. Let's see what we got so far. Well, not bad so far. I hope I didn't crack it. All right. All right, so this is the bottom of the cup. Let's give that bad boy a try. Down we go. Dang, I'm gonna end up breaking this thing. Come on. Oh, I don't think this is gonna. All right, I do not think that's gonna go down. Yeah, I don't want to put any more force on it. I'll, well, I don't know. It's a good concept, but I really don't think I'm going to be doing it this way. It seems a lot more work than necessary when I've been cutting them with scissors. Heck, I probably could have 3 bags done by now. Yeah, this is not going through. I did some of the dice cuts in here. Pretty deep, but it just didn't go through. Well, started out good, but like I say, I can just take the scissors here and cut these up faster than I can use this chopping thing. Yeah. Well, let me finish this up anyhow since so I like getting my pieces cut so they're small, kind of like about the size of dice. They just seem to remelt a whole lot better in the microwave. Well, I don't. Do you guys do something different, or do you use old school scissors and just cut the remelts? I'm going to be like what Mythbusters say. I'm going to call this busted. It's just not worth all the effort to do this. Well, like I said, I could have probably already sliced and diced, 3 or 4 bags before. And plus, I was afraid I was going to break this thing. All right, well, we tried. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in my cup and get it up to shooting temperature. And that's another thing I kind of like about the remelts. Is one, I can add my paddle tails, my used ones I go fishing with, and I only need to get this up to shooting temperature, like around 320 or so. But nope. I thought, well, like I said, I thought it would work. but it doesn't. So let me get this, I'm gonna, off camera, let me get this cleaned up. I gotta scrape out all the junk in here. I gotta clean up the cutting dice, whatever that is. And, and get it back in the kitchen cupboard before my wife finds out what I'm doing. All right. So I got that chopper slicer thingamajig all cleaned up. That took about 20 minutes. To me, it's just not worth the effort. I mean, it wasn't my vision that was in my head on how this thing would work. But anyhow, I had to give it a try. I guess we'll go back to the old school with the scissors here. And the scissors takes 2 seconds to clean up. So I don't know if you guys do something different or still use the scissor method here. But since I have this all diced up here, I'm gonna go ahead and get it remelted. I have 2 3.2 riprap molds and the injector heating up. In case you're wondering, I heat them up in a toaster oven. I originally got the toaster oven because I make spinner baits, and when I powder coat them, I cure them in the oven. Works out really well. They hang really good while they're curing. And I'll do a video on how I make these spinner baits here. And so it turned out, like I said, the toaster oven actually serves dual purpose. So for my spinner baits, when I'm curing the powder coat, and for heating up the molds and the injector. All right, so I got the Remelts up to temperature, about 320. And it actually gave me 6 ounces of plastisol, which will be plenty for these ripraps here. All right, let's get you up here. First one. Get you in here. All right, they all felt great. Top them off. Should be good. All right, put the rest back in. All right, let these cool down. I'll be right back. All right, these are ready. And I mentioned this in another video that I have about these black knobs. These things work great. They just spin off real fast. They actually tighten up the mold a little better. So I'll be getting some more of these from Lowe's here. All right, let's see how it turned out here. And I'm gonna stay on one side. Of course not. They're not. But regardless. So for Remelts, they turned out really great. And it's another thing I like about shooting the soft plastics is it's reusable. So I save all my Remelts and I save all my used soft plastic baits that I fish with. And it works out really well. Well, thank you for joining me on this experiment. Didn't turn out how I envisioned it, but you don't know till you try. So until next time, tight lines, and I'll catch you later.